Well, hello there, everybody. Bill O'Leary coming to you today to answer the question, who will take care of my pets when I die? So in this video, are you going to learn, why some people think it important to leave something behind for their pets, and two, the best ways to do this, including how a pet trust would work. Let me quickly introduce myself to you. My name is Bill O'Leary. I'm an attorney here in Jacksonville, Florida, and I focus on the areas called estate planning, wills, trusts, and estates, elder law, and probate and estate and trust administration. My firm is Legacy Planning Law Group. So the topic of the day, look, we all love our dogs, cats, birds, and other pets. Some of us may even love them as much as our spouse or children. But when contemplating death, the natural tendency, frankly, is to focus on human beings. But hey, pets need to be cared for too when you die. They need someone to feed them. They need someone to walk them. And if they hurt, they need someone to take them to the vet. A pet trust is a legal way to provide for the care, the feeding, and maintenance of the animals you love. Now, a pet trust, it's a legal arrangement. Okay, it allows you to provide, again, let's say the pets outlive you, to provide for their care and maintenance. And setting up a pet trust is similar to creating a living trust for human beneficiaries. And Florida, by the way, has laws that recognize pet trusts. So creating a pet trust, it makes sense if, let's say, you have one or more pets that you want to provide ongoing care for in case they outlive you. Number two, you're concerned about not being able to care for your pets if you become incapacitated due to disability or illness. Three, let's say your pets require specialized care or treatment. And four, you don't want your family members or friends to be financially burdened by having to care for your pets. So you can leave a pet, by the way, to someone in your will, and also leave that person money to go towards the pet care. But that's sort of a hope and a prayer. Without a pet trust in place, you are operating in good faith that the caretaker you're entrusting your pet to will take care of your pet according to your wishes. If you have any doubt at all that the person you have in mind, your caretaker, would not follow through on what you want or carry out fulfill the needs of the pet, a pet trust can offer reassurance. So for example, let's say you could give your trustee the authority to replace the caretaker if they're not caring for your pet according to your wishes. So when you set up a pet trust, it's up to you to set the terms of the trust, and the trust can be very specific. You see, for example, you could have, let's say, if your cat only likes a particular brand of food, or your dog looks forward to daily romps in the park, this can be set out specifically in a trust agreement. And let's say you want your pet to visit the veterinarian 4 times a year, this can also be included. Since pet owners know the particular habits of their companion animals, frankly, better than anyone else, they can describe, you see, the kind of care their pets should have, and list the persons who would be the ones to provide that care. Now, the trust needs to be adequately funded with money after you die. The terms of the trust should take into account the expected costs, makes sense, cost of caring for your pets, as well as their life expectancy. And so the way the trust works is it will last for as long as your pet is alive, and then the trust will end at your pet's death. And by the way, if you have multiple pets that are covered by the trust will terminate it when the last pet dies. Now, usually the trustee of the pet trust is a relative or a friend, or can be a reputable pet service organization. You can also name a caretaker that's different than the trustee. This is a good way to make sure, frankly, that the caretaker is actually using the trust money for the pet and not for themselves. With a separate trustee and a separate caretaker, the trustee will control the money and the caretaker will take care of the pet. So consider naming one or more backup caretakers who could take over if something were to happen to your pet's primary caretaker named in the trust. You'll also need to consider what should happen to any surplus money that's left in the trust once your pet passes away. Most people decide that when, let's say, the pet trust ends, the remaining funds are paid to the deceased person's beneficiaries, or to, let's say, a charity to care for animals. So here's an example. This is a case in point. Let's say you have 2 dogs and 3 cats. Altogether, they have an average life expectancy of, let's say, 15 years. Between vet visits, food, boarding, grooming, and other expenses, let's say their care currently costs you about $10,000 a year. Well, although you can factor in inflation, let's just take inflation out of it for right now to make it simple. You could create a pet trust and fund it with $150,000, which would cover the cost of pet care for up to 15 years. And again, you should include specific instructions for the trustee that if any funds are left over when the trust expires, the last pet dies, that those funds should be donated, let's say to your local ASPCA or to a pet rescue organization. One last thought. When creating a pet trust, it's important to word it as specifically as possible to minimize the possibility of it being challenged by your heirs. A famous example of a pet trust gone wrong, frankly, is one created by Leona Helmsley, the New York heiress of decades ago. She was, a famous high-end hotel owner. She created a pet trust for her pet Maltese named Trouble. Helmsley, she created a $12 million pet trust. And this is back like in the 1980s and early 90s. And the trust was there for Trouble. The trust was later contested by 2 of her grandchildren who had been excluded from her will. Since the trust was not worded clearly enough, a court was able to reduce the pet trust to just $2 million and allocate $6 million of that to the grandkids and $4 million to a separate charitable trust. So look, pet trust can offer pet owners a great deal of flexibility and peace of mind. It just needs to be done right. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about, who will take care of your pets after you die and maybe how we can help, we'd love to talk to you. So we encourage you to go ahead and to schedule a free 15-minute discovery phone call with us so we can sort of start a conversation, tell us what's on your mind. And scheduling could not be any easier. You can go to the bottom of this video to the scheduling link, click on that, or go to our website, legacyplanninglawgroup.com, and select the book your free call option, and it'll take you straight to our booking calendar. Just pick a day and time that works for you. And we'll get on the call at the appointed time. So this is Bill O'Leary here signing off for now. And on behalf of everybody here at Team Legacy, go make it a great day and a better world.